Drills Talk, episode 23. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 5 ways to be a better dad. This is based off of a blog entitled Good Dad versus Bad Dad. Now, who am I to tell you if you're a good dad or bad dad? How am I qualified to tell you how to be a better dad? Well, I'm married. I have 3 kids. I've been married for 10 years. So, maybe qualified. But, if you've been married for 20, have 6 kids and 2 wives, by all means. Drills Talk, episode 23. This is the top 5 ways to be a better dad. Before we jump into this, like, subscribe, comment if you like, but most importantly, subscribe and like if you really enjoy what you're seeing. We do this every Wednesday, which is the vlog. On every Monday, we have a blog. On Fridays, I release an instrumental produced by myself, Drills. So if you want to join us, it's very fun to be here. Thank you for joining. If you have joined already, thank you for sticking around. Number one is to give time. So a lot of us dads are always wondering, like, how can I be a better father? Am I being a good father? Some of us that say we don't have a lot of money. One common thing of a person that doesn't have a lot of money is that they have a lot of time. So if you have a lot of time, you can definitely be a better dad. Now, what can you do with that time? You can do a lot of stuff with this, time that you have on your hands. Monetarily, maybe you can go out and do the big things that you would like to do. But you can sit and play games. Board games on Amazon you can probably find between $10 and $20. A deck of cards probably $5 to $7. Just sitting with your kid talking would amaze you. And, you can get a lot of good, father-daughter or father-son time in there. It's not as complicated as we may make it seem in our heads. They just want to hang out. They just want to be with us. They just want to ask us a million questions. Probably not exactly listening to the answers, especially based on what age they are in the age range. If they're like under 10, they're not really grasping anything much, but they just like the time. They like hanging out with dad. Dad is the superhero. No matter if you 5'2", 100 pounds, or you're 7 feet tall and 350 pounds, they see you as that 7 foot tall, 350 pound dad. Dad's a superhero. So be that superhero, knowing that you don't have to have any special powers to do it. You can just be you. You can hang out and talk about anything. They're going to be interested because it's dad. They're going to be into what you're saying because you're dad. Whatever you like, they're going to like. That's just what it's going to be. So don't overcomplicate things. Your time is what they want. Chill out, relax, sit back. Ask them what they would like to do. Ask them what they did that day. Ask them what they enjoy doing. They'll definitely get you, back to questions because that's what they do. They're question machines. So you can wing this one. This one can be winged. Just hang out, relax, chill. And you'll be surprised at how easy it is to talk to this person who's like a little you. It's not ultra complicated. It's not forced. You're just hanging out. And you're being a great dad. You're being a better dad because you're giving that time that most dads don't. So remember that and keep that in mind. Number two is to give what you didn't have. So what I mean by what you didn't have, not just monetarily. I'm talking about the lessons you learned that you wish you would have known, or maybe that would have trickled down from your parents and didn't trickle down. You should give them that. And there's no age that's too early. I know I stated that if they're under 10, they're probably not grasping much, but there are some special ones out there that are 6, 7 years old, and they can repeat everything you're telling them verbatim and explain what you meant by the statements you made, even if you were trying to beat around the bush and trying to hide what you were really saying. They can tell you. So whatever age you feel or see fit to start telling those life lessons, start. Of course, you're going to have to repeat yourself multiple times anyway. So you might as well get the practice in. You might as well have it sound familiar to them or sort of familiar. It's like, hey, I think he told me this before. Definitely told you before. But I'm going to tell you again. And I'm going to tell you because I wish someone told me. Some things that you go through, you think like, goodness, how did nobody ever go through this and nobody give me the heads up? Those things need to be told to your children. Explain to your children. If it's a, strong subject, you could put the kids' gloves on and just, get the gist of the story until they get old enough to where you can just tell it like it is and explain exactly what it was. But they need that. The best thing you can do is not have your child go through everything that you went through. Why? Like, what's the point of you going through that, Dad? Like, I would be not as great of a father as I can be if I saw my kid, going towards something that I already went through and I knew it was hell. Why would I allow them to do that? I wouldn't. I'm going to stop them. I'm going to say, hey, I went through this. I see where you're going. This is what can happen. This is what did happen to me. This is what could happen to you. This is what did happen to me. And this is why I feel you shouldn't do it. Explain it to them. They'll respect you more. And if you already got that respect from them because you're spending time with them, you've told them things in the past and it worked out and it was good information, that stuff, you build a rapport with them and they're like, okay, they know what they're talking about. It's not just, corny dad being mean and, oh my goodness, you're so out of date and out of touch and you don't get it. No, it's, yeah, he may know what he's talking about. He's been through a lot. And he told me what he's been through. He's explained it to me and I understand it. And it's not coming from some, oh, well, do what I say because I'm dad. It's do what I say because I'm dad. And this is what happened when I didn't listen. This is what I did because I didn't know any better. And you shouldn't do it. And they can do that all in their head if you tell them enough times that, hey, this is what can happen. They listen to you after a couple 100 times, but whatever, they're your kids. So there's no problem saying it a couple 100 times. You're going to do it anyway. So getting back to giving them what you didn't have. Some of us, came from not much money and have money now. The best thing you can do is to make sure that they know how to handle money. They know the value of money. Because most kids, you give them $1, it doesn't matter what the number is on the dollar. If you shake, 3 quarters in front of their faces, depending on the age, they're going to take 3/1 all the time because they don't really know the value of it. They, don't know that, okay, when we go to the store and we're asking for extra stuff and we have a budget, that's taken away from the things we need or may want later. Do they understand that? They probably don't. It's no big deal to explain to kids what a budget is. Even if you don't have much of a budget, you can, train them on having one. Because if they don't know how to budget, they're not going to be able to handle however much money you have. It doesn't matter what you have. You can have $1 million in your bank account. Something happens to you, it goes to them, and it's gone in a month because they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to handle it. Money was just always around. And when you have a limit, they didn't know that part. They never got to that part because you didn't explain it to them. Don't let them be that. Don't let them have to experience that. Explain everything to them. This is what I didn't have, and I'm going to give it to you because I would have loved to have it. They would appreciate that. They would love you to death for it, and especially when they go through something that you've given them a heads up on. Number 3. Number 3 is give everything you did get. Everything you got from your family, everything good. You don't want to just pass on ridiculousness, but I know as parents, some of us do. We pass on stuff that we don't necessarily have to pass on, but we do anyway because it's part of us and we show it and they see it and they mimic and it becomes part of them. But the good stuff is what I'm saying. Like if you grew up in a home where, the family was tight and there was a lot of hugging and a lot of saying I love you and a lot of that stuff, like make that go on. That's something that a lot of kids don't have growing up. And it's an amazing thing to be able to express your love for somebody or some people or a moment or be able to be free to get excited and jump around and show that you're excited and, express yourself. Some kids can't. And, in my opinion, I feel that allowing them to express themselves, no matter how they feel, when they're mad, they should be comfortable stating that they're mad. When they're happy or excited, they should be comfortable stating that they're happy or excited. If they're sad, say they're sad. If, they're just, hey, Dad, I love you for no reason, let them say it. It's not hurting anything. I want a hug. Give them a hug. Why not? Why not show them that love? And especially if you got it, you should perpetuate that. You should keep that going, because then they will do it, and they will be, the norm for them. And in their household, they're hugging and showing that they love, and people are easily, expressive, and there are no secrets. So if they can express themselves around you, they feel comfortable telling you stuff that's not necessarily too comfortable, because I've been free my entire childhood. Yeah, this is going to be tough to say, but I mean, I can say anything around dad because I'm comfortable around him. He makes me feel comfortable. He lets me, express how I'm feeling. Even if I disagree with dad, I can express how I'm feeling. He may tell me why I'm wrong, but he let me have it out. He let me get it out of me. So just have that there. Other things that you may have gotten. Maybe you learned to cook from, whoever was in the kitchen when you were younger. Maybe you learned to fix a car. It doesn't matter what gender your child is. Teach them how to do things with their hands. It can only be a benefit. If they never use it, at least they can see, what they're paying for, and know that somebody didn't know what they were doing when they did it, because they know how to do it. It's a benefit to know how to do a little bit of everything. Just enough to know what you're paying for, or just enough to know, if somebody's just, putting you in a wrong situation, putting you in a bad situation. Tell them everything. You are basically taking everything you've downloaded, trying to skim off the fat, all the, bad information, and you're going to give them everything that's good. Pristine hard drive, new hard drive over there, and you're trying to make that the best possible. Now, if you got a whole bunch of negative, what you can do is not give them anything, but try to give them the opposite. So when I say that, let's say you grew up in a bad neighborhood, maybe the inner city, and now, your kids are growing up and you guys are not in the inner city. You're, somewhere in a good neighborhood. Yeah, you might be in a country club. Things got a lot better, but they need to understand that everyone doesn't live like this. How I lived, let me tell you how I lived. I'm not saying have them see the, refrigerator empty, or turn off the lights and act like the power went out. No, I'm saying that they should understand that people live in many different levels and ways. People have money, some people don't have money. People live in houses, some people rent apartments. Some people are homeless. Some people live in shelters. This happens. This is real. They shouldn't be shocked, when they're getting older and they have friends in school and they don't understand, like, why do they have the same book bag as 2 years ago? Or why can't they replace the clothes that they have holes in? Because some people can't. And it shouldn't be a secret. And even if they're the ones with the holes in their clothes, they should understand that, yeah, people do live better. And that can be an aspiration for them. Okay, well, right now, my dad told me, okay, yeah, we don't have a lot of money. And sometimes when I mess up my clothes, they can't be replaced. And I just have to wear them messed up. Okay, well, when I get older, I'm going to get a good job, or I'm going to create a great business, and I'm going to be able to replace my clothes if I ever mess them up. And I'm going to be able to replace my dad's clothes for him if he gets older and he's still working. And I'm going to be able to make sure my kids never have to go to school with holes in their clothes. Because my dad loved me and he showed me and told me everything that he knew. And I'm going to be better for that. And I'm going to make sure that he's good too, because he did that for me. Number four is to explain your actions. Now, I know I talked about how you should allow the kid to be open around you and express their feelings. I feel in my, experience that expressing my feelings and explaining why I'm doing what I'm doing, sometimes even how I'm doing what I'm doing, it helps a lot as far as those kids understanding and knowing what daddy does to have us maintain the way we live, to make sure that we're happy, to make sure that we have things we need. What is daddy doing? Like, I don't work a traditional job anymore. Like, I'm an entrepreneur full-time, 100%. This is what I do. Like, I'm blogging, I'm vlogging, I'm making music. I, have internet stores and, investments and real estate and stuff like that. I'm all over the place. But they need to understand why I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place so I can be around you more. I'm all over the place so we can live where we live and how we live. And yes, I work real hard now. I work a lot of hours, but this is why I'm working a lot of hours. But I still have time for you. We're still going to sit down and we're going to watch TV shows and movies together. We're still going to sit down and watch wrestling together. We're still going to sit down and talk to each other and see what's going on with each other and make sure we're good. We're still going to tell each other we love our, love each other every night. So that's why Daddy does what he does. If they see Daddy yelling, oh, well, what is he yelling for? Well, Dad is very upset about this, and this is why I'm yelling, and this is why I'm not okay right now. This is what the problem is, and this is how I'm going to fix and address the problem. But right now, the only thing I can do is get this anger out, and the way I'm getting it out is yelling, or the way I'm getting it out is working out, or the way I'm getting it out is, sitting in the basement and listening to music or making music. That's how Daddy gets better. And they're like, oh, okay, that's how Daddy feels better. Well, when I'm mad, I go to Alexa and tell her to play Michael Jackson, or I go in my room and, I just start writing or I start drawing. Okay, cool. Well, now I know what she does when she's upset. She know what I do when I'm upset. And we just know each other more because we're open and honest with each other. It could be very hard because we look at these kids as like, oh, they're just, they're kids. They don't need any explanations. Just do what I say. Don't do what I do what I say. No, you have to approach these children as little people. They're not, just over there in the corner. And I know a lot of us grew up, probably a little older than me. I probably missed that generation, but like right before me, it was like, children are seen, not heard. Started changing a little bit. My generation definitely changed now, but I agree with the change in that kids are learning a lot. There's a lot more information out there now, and they need explanations. They need to know, because anything they want to know is pretty much at their grasp. Once they can type and spell anything that they want to know, they can type into a URL or type it into YouTube, and boom, that's the answer. So why not get it from you? Why not get the at least the filtered version if they need the filtered version from you, and not hear the uncensored version, when they search something on, in Google or Bing. I say be open with them. Treat them as if you're talking to another adult, and, no, keeping in mind that, okay, this is a kid, so I may, make it PG, but don't shy away from giving them the information that they need, because they're going to get it anyway. Number five is show love. So showing love is more than just telling them you love them. You may or may not be with, their mom, but if you are with their mom, you should show them how much you love their mom. They're like, that much, like they always see Daddy kissing mom. They always see Daddy hugging mom. They always see Daddy, doing stuff with mom, or playing around or listening to music or whatever with mom. Like, to the point that, it's like, goodness, that's all I see. Because when they see that, they're going to know what they should do when they're with the next person, with their potential future husband or future wife, or their first real boyfriend or girlfriend, in high school or somewhere early in college. They know what love is. They know what it looks like. And they're not guessing. That's how they end up in a bad relationship. Showing them love is showing them how it should look. And if you can't show them how it looks, then you can't be upset when they're in the wrong situation or the wrong relationship later on in life, because you've never showed them what the right way was. That's part of being a dad. It's part of being a better dad. You show them what a great relationship is, so they don't end up in a bad one. Now, this is whether you're with their mom or not, whoever you're with. So if you're out there and you're with this and that and that and this, and then her 1 month and then homegirl next month, if your son grows up to end up like that, then, what do you expect? If your daughter ends up with a guy like that, probably reminded her of her dad. Right? Yeah. So what can you do? You can show love. Be open. Give them everything you didn't get. Give them everything you got. Give them time. Teach them. Hone their skills. See what they like. Encourage it. Learn from them and help them learn. Drills Talk, episode 23. This was the top 5 ways to be a better dad. It's drills.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Check this out. It's Drills.